Hello Absurdisan and welcome back to the Manor Bar. We are roaring through our mini-series of Borderlands gun manufacturer-based cocktails, but we're not quite done yet. So let's keep going with the Bandit cocktail. Now bandits have always been present in the Borderlands games. They're there as a common enemy in both of them. But it was only in the second game that they really started making their own guns and they became an actual manufacturer. They replaced S&S Munitions from Borderlands 1 and became the new manufacturer that focused on massive gun magazines. I'm fairly sure that the Bandit magazines are larger than the S&S magazines used to be. So they were massive. Now this does come at a cost. The reload times are ludicrously long because you've got to feed in about 200 bullets into your gun, and all the other stats like damage and accuracy and things are fairly average, or maybe even just a little bit below. But doesn't really matter when you can just hold your trigger down for a solid minute and pretty much everything in the room or desert or town is going to die. Now because of the absolutely vast magazine sizes that these guns have, I figured this drink has got to be a bit different. It's got to be bigger, it's got to be huge, and because it's Bandit based, it's got to be insane, manic, absolutely ludicrous. So, here's what you're going to need. Okay, for the Bandit cocktail, you will need a jug. This is going to be a big picture drink, just because I want it to reflect the gargantuan magazine size, in that you can just keep drinking this over and over and over, because it's so large. Now you can either get a nice pitcher like this. This is just one that came with a bottle of Southern Comfort that I bought once. Or you can go out and be absolutely insane and get yourself one of these. This is a massive beer glass. You can make yourself just one Bandit drink in this and have it all to yourself. I'm going to go the more party route with this and doing it so you can actually share it around a bit. But if you want to make just one gargantuan drink, this is the bad boy that'll do it for you. So, pitcher or massive glass, dump a load of ice in that, and you will also need some tequila, some Malibu, this is the coconut rum, pineapple and orange juice, because this is going to be fruity. It's going to have Pandoran fruit in it and be really juicy and lovely. And Red Bull, because bandits are insane. If you haven't played Borderlands then you won't know, but bandits are pretty crazy. They're insane. They are ludicrous. They house psychos and various things like that. So that's going to help it give it a real bit of kick. And I didn't want to use the monster because we've already got a load of fruit juice with these. So let's get cooking. Now because this is just a big old pitcher drink, I'm not going to be measuring it out like 1 measure, 2 measure, stuff like that. I'm just going to be doing it in parts. So you can scale it down, you can scale it up, the proportions will be the same. But just remember this is done in parts, not measures. So in total this drink is going to be made up of 6 parts. And we're going to split it up like this. You will need 1 part tequila, and then 1 part Malibu. Follow that up with 1 part pineapple juice. By now you should have filled it up to roughly about halfway, so bear that in mind. We're then going to put in 1 part of your orange juice, and then you're going to top it off with 2 parts of Red Bull, or however much Red Bull you really want to get in there. Now do leave a little bit of room because we're going to colour it as well. Because of the size of mine, I'm actually going to have to bust out a second Red Bull, so let's get that in there. Now get yourself nice long spoon and give it a stir and really muddle it up together, because the worst thing you can have is all your alcohol just sat at the bottom. Make a nasty surprise for the last person to have one of these. So now we've got our basic cocktail. Looks pretty good, but the Bandit guns are usually red or rust coloured, so we're going to chuck in some grenadine to try and get some colour in. Now you can either do it all red, chuck it in and give it a mix, or you can chuck this in and see if it floats or sinks, depending on the gravity of the cocktail ingredients you put in here. I think I'm just going to let mine sit and try and layer it a bit. So, let's get this in there and see what happens. Look at that! That's awesome! That's come out really, really well. I'm quite happy with that. Now you can just leave it like this and that's absolutely fine. Pour it out into glasses and serve to your friends. Or you can add a special little garnish that I've just thought up, and I haven't seen it around anywhere else. So I'm going to show you guys how to make citrus grenade. you're going to want to find a lemon and a lime that are roughly the same size. And we're going to cut a slice out of the middle of these, and I'll show you what we do with those afterwards. Okay, so we've got our lemon and our lime slices. Try and make them a decent thickness, because we don't want this to like be limp and floppy and horrible. So, what you're going to do is on your lime or your lemon, you're going to make a cut from the middle to the end. Just one slice from the middle to the end, and do that just once on each of these. Okay, so we got our slices cut up, and then you're going to slide the slice of lemon along the cut you've made into the slice of lime along the cut you've made in that. And it can get a bit messy, so don't be afraid to get juice all over you. But if you do it right, mine's a bit flimsy, but these are fruit, so it's not going to be terribly sturdy. Comes out looking like one of those! Look at that! That's awesome. And now you can either just dump this straight in, or you can whoop, let it fall apart like that. As I was saying, or you can try and leverage it on the side like that. I'm just going to dump mine in because it's a citrus grenade. It's got to go in the drink, and that just helps add a bit of citrusy flavour to it. Just gives it a bit more spice. Now it's ready to serve, so I'm going to grab myself a glass, wash off my hands because I have to fish out that lime, and I'm going to give it a go. So I've got my glass. Let's pour myself out some of this Bandit cocktail. Always try and be careful pouring things out with ice in it because it can make a mess like that. There we go. Right, it's kind of a rusty orange, which is fine. Suits Bandit manufacturers just fine. So let's give this a go. That is lovely. That is a wonderful fruity punch. That is great. It's an ideal party drink, which also suits the Bandit manufacturer fine, because it's not too powerful. All the other stats, like, well, I suppose stats like on the guns, but in here, like the alcoholic content and the flavour, they're not overpowering. It's great, you can just wash this down. But the good thing is, there's loads of it. So, bust this out at parties. It's a great drink to have, and I can't really recommend this too much. I'm all over the place because I've just had a lot of fun making this actually. Don't know why, I'm in a really good mood, but all the better for it. So definitely try out one of these Bandit cocktails. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I've been Rich Perry, and this is the Mana Bar. Cheers.